You just grind these rivets off. You just grind the heads of them off and then punch them through. That's it. You can see all the heads are ground down. You then take your trusty punch. Just make sure it's smaller than the rivet itself. Once you've punched all the rivets through, you don't have to punch them out. You just need to punch them down enough to clear this plate, which is only that deep. And then you'll lift it up and you'll see all the cushions in there. You can see how they wear out and they become totally different sizes. They're all the same size when they go in there, and they even break apart and start chipping. Let's see. Yeah, you can definitely see the size difference. This is what wears out. And they break apart also. So we'll get a new one here. Just lift it off. And this is the part you save, along with the little ring here. Don't lose this piece. That sets on just like that, and we'll assemble the billet piece, and the rest of this all goes in the trash. You can see the rivets there on the opposite side. They're not all the way out, but you can see that they're out enough to take it apart. All right, got our ring gear here. Got our little washer piece on there. New billet anodized basket. Put all the cushions in. Put them all in one side. Turn the basket a little bit and then squeeze them on in the other side. Should be a pretty tight fit. And if you get them squared up just right, they'll push right in. Put the backing plate on. Give each of the screws, bolts, red Loctite. There. That does it. Back over here and see if we can get this thing all put together. At least, let's see if we can get this bottom end put together. Where were we? Basket. Again, you might have to wiggle that idle gear. Then we need another washer. Washer. Inner boss. Clutch. This clutch is in good shape. It's not the heavy duty style clutch I run, but we'll put some heavy duty springs on it and see how long he can get it to last. Locking washer. This is the clutch locking washer. They say to use these once and throw them away, but if you see it's not fatigued and ready to split, you can use it again. I've never had one break inside there. Those little things are getting expensive too. They're like $5 now. No Loctite there because it's got that locking washer. You can, and I've seen it, you don't have to use this locking clutch lock washer. You can use red Loctite. I've seen that done a lot, and it seems to hold just fine. Stick on the kick gear while we're here. This tab goes up against the case there. This goes in that hole there. Of course, this goes in the hole there. Once you got it centered right, you make sure the gear gets behind the idle kick gear. The kick gear gets behind the idle gear. And then this is straight down, keyed. Make sure this plastic bushing is all the way back. And then swing it up. And let's try that again with a little less oil. Swing it up and grabs. There we go. We're almost done. You've seen me do this a lot also in my other videos. Pancake bearing. Very important. You want the adjuster on the front side so you can grab it with the open end wrench and adjust it with the nut on it. I'll walk you through it. You've got to be careful of buying these on eBay. They've got them all over the place, $8 to $10. More than half of them sold are just junk. They don't work, they're not threaded right. This is on the inside, or it's smooth on both sides and you have to grab it with a pair of vice grip. I mean, you can make them work, especially if you got a tap to clean all the threads or to rethread the shaft here. But it's a pain in the butt. Just realize when you're buying stuff off eBay, it's a crapshoot. All right, so usually one washer and one bearing, again, because they make them all wrong. But I use this particular brand. It works good. They give you different shims. I only use one in the bearing. Bring it up through the center and just put the little nut on top. For now, it's not adjusted. It just holds so that we can get it together. That's not on right. We'll swing it over. Remember, we can line up the arrow with the arrow or the notch on the boss here. And there's only one. Let's see. Spin it around. There we go. Arrow, arrow. It only goes on one way. You got a 50-50 chance of hitting it right. We're going to stiffen this clutch up a little bit. These are aftermarket springs that are a little stiffer. These are drag springs. I'm going to put 3 drag springs in it. And hopefully the clutch lever won't be too hard for him to pull. Remember, when you're out there dune riding, shifting through gears, you don't need to use the clutch. Just let off the gas and shift up when you're cruising around. You only need the clutch to come out of first. That way you don't wear your forearm out. Now, if you're drag racing up the hill, especially with the motor that does this much horsepower, you're going to have to clutch every gear to get it to shift when you're drag racing and you're trying to get the best time and the quickest shift. We want the arrow to line up and it already does. You just got a perfect guess there. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to hold the center, 10 millimeter, and all these specialty cut tools I have to get into certain spots. You want to hold it and then tighten it. Now you want to hold that center. Sometimes it spins too much, but I've got a little play in it and I want it to be a little tighter. Okay. Notice I didn't hold this, so it spun in a little bit that way. So let's see how the arrow lines up. You need multiple hands to do all this stuff. Okay, it's a little bit towards the stator side, which I like. So there we go. That is set up, and we want to make sure that this is free spinning. That should always be free. Let's start on the stator side. I usually just drop my key in there, get it where I want it to be. We check this stator. The stator is good. This was a stock stator plate and somebody elongated it. That way you could adjust the timing. You didn't know about how much timing you were getting out of it, but you couldn't get more than 5 because the plate comes apart. 5 or 6, I would say. But we're gonna get these started. You could put a little blue Loctite on these guys also to keep them from backing out. Now, we ran into a problem that I didn't notice until I started inspecting stuff as I was assembling. This flywheel is cracked. There's a big crack there. And I believe I see it starting there too. This flywheel has had it. It's been beat on a couple times. It probably was stuck and it was pressed off and stressed it and popped it. So you've seen me do that. You've seen me take off flywheels to get them unstuck. I don't think I did it on this one. I'll have to look at my video. But this one did not take it well. So we'll get a new flywheel on there. Here's one I haven't seen before. Ride naked. It can be a little painful, especially if somebody's in front of you shooting rocks up. We're gonna change the kicker seal here. Again, very easy. Just pop it out. I'm making it look harder than it is. There we go. The new one just pushes right in by thumb. Most all seals you can push in by thumb. If not, you can get a socket that's the same size and tap it in. They must have stripped a screw out and replaced it with a little 6 mil. That one comes out. Can't seem to get the others out. When you're working on a flat surface, you got to make sure that this protrudes out. So you don't want to smash or break that off. I have a hole here, so fits in the hole, and I can get some good whacking on it. We'll let the PB blaster soak into that. Move over here and take a look at this. This is the intake. I'm always skeptical of these rubber boots. They like to leak. So I'm going to take this apart and see if anybody 3-bonded that together. Any kind of silicone will work to glue. You're basically trying to glue the boot on top of the 2 little nuts they give you to put them on here. And this does not give much clamping force in the center, just on the ends. And you can see it's clean, so that's potential for air leak. I see it all the time when I leak down test motors. And there was sand all along here, so you know they were sucking and leaking. Nah, it's a little more than you need, but better too much than not enough. You can see it's squeezed all the way around, so you got a nice good seal. I'll just go in there and clean it up a little bit. I'm at a standstill for right now. The cylinder has to get nickeled, and we'll wait for it, and we'll assemble the rest of this when it gets back.